So we're currently up on BADU Island in the Torres Straits. Now the Torres Strait Islands are this beautiful stretch of islands between the tip of Australia and Papua New Guinea, stretching over a vast expanse of ocean, going right out to the Great Barrier Reef, to the tip of the Great Barrier Reef in the east, the top of the Australian continent in the south, and right up to Papua New Guinea in the north. And BADU Island is in the Western Island group, and it's about halfway up to Papua New Guinea. Now today, Uncle Edmund from BADU is heading down to Thursday Island and then over to Moa. And I just want to take every chance I get to get out on the water to see more islands, but particularly Moa, because Moa was constantly at battle, at war with BADU. Uncle Putu was saying this is called Dollar Reef. So I'm pretty sure this is where I was diving, but further up here the other morning with Ramus and Yaps. What Wallarau? Oxbury. Oh, the island. So this island in the front here is like the halfway island to TI. So whenever the locals are passing through here, they stop behind that island, have a bit of a breather, get out of the wind for a bit, and then keep pushing on. But on the way to TI, there's all these reefs, these big long reefs that run kind of east to west, and they get super shallow. So later when we're coming back, they're all going to be exposed on that low tide. They'll be out of the water.
Mumbai. See that island there with the scullies?
Yeah.
Warrior. Cunning.
Cunning.
Cunning. Surat. Mumbai. Waral.
Oh, look at this water. Nice ledge through there.
You run to the point of the island, eat there, straight across from there.
Okay. No, that's good. Not real big. Mackerel, yes. Nice one, brother. Nice. Hey! Jeez! That didn't take long. This one's bigger. Look at it out there.
Woohoo!
Much bigger.
Bala. Wild wicked. That's him.
Come on, boy. What's he doing? I'll bring him around. Oh, look at this! I don't know. I think it's just a little one. Oh, it's going off there. good, fella. Who's enjoying BADU so far? Let me know what you think of the episodes. Shout out to my mates at Will and Bear. Absolute legends over there. I've been wearing their hats for like 7 years. They've been supporting what I do on Wild Reaches for the last 5 years. So if you need a hat, I wear the William Brown. I get so many people asking me what it is. It's the William Brown. There's different Williams, different colours. I wear the brown one. I also wear, last season I wore the Percy. Really liked that one too. But yeah, they've got a big range of hats. Australian company, just great people doing cool things. And so if you want a hat, go support them because they support me. And I'm very thankful for that. All right guys, we've made it to Moa. So this is the island to the direct east of BADU, Moa, and this little community here is called Cuban. So Moa has Cuban and St. Paul's out on the eastern side. Not sure exactly what we're going to do. So we shot across the TI. The weather was beautiful, especially coming back. Super low tides. All the reefs were out. Uncle he was in a bit of a rush to get here, so he didn't stop. New community, new island. Just walk around and try and meet some locals. Like one of the churches here. It's so quiet here that every house seems to have boats and coconut trees. Yeah. You can tell us your names.
Gideon.
Gideon. You're Gideon Chris?
No, Gideon Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's your name?
Whitney.
Whitney. So what's life like out here? What are you mostly hunting the ocean, I suppose?
Yeah.
So turtle, dugong,
Yeah. Oh, doing some reef walking?
reef walking.
Yeah, doing some net. Some. All the mud crabs up there.
Yeah, I heard you got good mud crabs along these flats here, hey?
Yeah.
I brought a spear with me on the boat, so hopefully on the way home when that tide's coming in, might get a...
Back here or
Yeah.
front?
Right at the front too?
Yeah.
We're going up to the lookout. Oh yeah, someone coming in. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah, so all these flats, you can hunt mud crabs.
Yeah. These are the seed, the bed.
Wow, it's beautiful from up here.
Yeah.
Over there.
The reef in front of us, that's Dollar Reef. One closer, money sign. Money Reef.
This one between us and these islands.
Yeah. That's Dollar Reef.
So yeah, you got, is it Cuban?
Yeah.
And then Cuban and Moa. Cuban and St.
St.
Paul's.
Paul.
They're the
Yeah.
two communities.
Yeah.
And it's mostly, looks like on the map, it's lots of salt flats and then you've got that big mountain.
Yeah. That's Mopping. One of the biggest hill in Torres Strait.
Yeah?
And I'm pretty sure we're the second largest island in Torres Strait.
Yeah, okay.
But the first,
Size.
Yeah, but the first island to have the highway.
To have the what?
Highway.
What's the highway?
Like here
Highway from here to St. Paul.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, that's what you call
Yeah.
it. Yeah, okay. So how long does it take to get over there?
It
15 minutes.
15? What about walking? An hour?
Probably an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 12 an hour or two. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I won't do
Pretty
that
far,
then.
but
We're going to try and get to St. Paul's.
walk towards the first hill just at the back here. One of the sacred area.
What's that? Where's that?
Oh, just at the back here.
Towards that big hill.
Yeah.
That's a sacred area.
Yeah. Where my people used to go sit there and initiate.
Oh, initiate boys.
Initiate. And stopping all the bad spirits to come around.
Yeah, okay. That's where that would all take place.
Yeah. So that, these people called Uma people.
Warmer.
Uma.
Uma.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were like the gardening people.
Okay.
And I'd always had fresh food,
Yeah.
or pumpkin and stuff like that. All the garden food.
And that's all before mission days, yeah? Yeah.
We would mostly walk out, because you never know what's hanging around outside.
Okay.
The island's that big,
Yeah.
you never know who's at the backyard.
Who's still out there?
Yeah.
Oh,
And my granddad's home.
what's that?
My granddad's home,
Oh, yeah.
the one up there.
Yep.
This is the before house.
Oh, yeah.
And before this house, there's another house at the back.
Ah,
And this is my dad's old house. My sister stays there. And my dad built a new 4-bedroom house.
so that was your granddad's house. That was the chief.
Yeah.
Is the chief, like, is that passed down? Or is
Yeah.
it like whoever's,
Yeah.
like if the chief dies, it then goes to vote who should be the next chief?
Through the bloodline.
Yeah, okay.
So after him, it's probably my dad.
Yeah,
And after my dad, it will be my big brother.
okay. Everywhere you see me travel throughout Northern Australia and the Torres Strait Islands, there's this balance between two worlds, between two ways of life. There's this ancient culture that we're only able to capture like a glimpse into it. And then there's this more modern world that is like a mix of the old ways, but it's also what was taught, or what I should say, what was enforced by the missionaries when the missionaries came. And that's what we see today, is that balance between the two. The things that remain strong wherever I visit are love of family, love of the country and culture and spirituality. And a big part of that culture is food, whether that's hunting and knowing when and where to hunt what, or whether that's, plant-based foods and again knowing when and where to forage for it, or whether you're growing it. And the interesting thing about BADU is the gardening, it's the agriculture, and I'm really intrigued to find out where that came from.
This is another cassava garden here, but I'm trying to teach the kids to do it. So I teach them to make the leaves two ways. See how the leaves laying upside down?
Yeah.
They've tried to do it right. And then this leaf, see where the mounds are? So in between the mounds, the leaves lay up, and on top of the mounds, the leaves lay down. And you see this one here growing? I just planted that one. That's a different type of cassava, just by the leaf. See the leaf?
Yeah.
This leaf? Yeah. It's like this one and that leaf. That's white. This is yellow. Yellow cassava, white cassava. Like here I got my taro here as well. This one's been harvested. It's like a ground, like almost near like a potato, sweet potato, Yeah. But it's a taro. Mom make us taro, sweet potato, and cassava, banana, and she grow her own. We used to grow our own watermelon and pumpkin and that. Yeah.
So that's lemon myrtle.
That's lemon myrtle. Smell it.
Oh, I can smell it.
You see how strong, nice.
That's so strong.
Yeah,
Can I take a leaf?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, I love that.
yeah. It's nice.
I thought I had lemon myrtle at home. It's like a grass, and it just goes. Wow, it's about this tall.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's just long grass.
That's lemon grass.
Ah, it smells
This is
different.
same smeller. This one is lemon myrtle tree. This one, same thing. Tea, that lemon grass. We use it in all cooking here.
Yeah, okay.
In the turtle, yeah.
Like when you steam turtle.
Yeah, steamed turtle. Them kind you put it inside. I find lemon myrtle is better than lemongrass.
It's so refreshing.
Plenty of coconut, different types. This is see the one you've seen in there, that guy?
Yeah.
That guy is a brown.
Okay.
This guy is yellow. When it's fruit, the fruit is yellow. This came from Murray Island. They call it gayu.
Gayu, and you call it guy.
We call it gai. They call it gayu. So, I'll show to you that tree.
Oh, this is what you're telling me about.
And that tree came from the one tree. And see the difference. Because when we come, we always go this way. I'm always working in the garden there. I did really go here, this side. So here, all these. See this one? Look, you'll see how good they are. This one.
Yeah.
This one, this one, this one, and then you look the ones further away from human contact. They
Right.
planted at the same time.
At the same time. And this is what you were talking about, that like your uncle told you, the touch and the contact and talking to it.
How trees are alive and they feel your energy, and the positive energy you got, they if they feel the love from the caretaker, the person who's taking care of them, they give you fruit early.
Yeah.
See, that one's fruiting. That one's fruiting at human height.
Yeah.
So it's now giving me blessing while I can stand on the ground. I don't have to climb the tree.
Yeah.
And that's because they feel the love from how you take care of the tree. You actually genuinely give them the care and they reward you.
Yeah, it's a relationship.
Yeah. It's a partnership.
Yeah.
It's a team.
Yeah. So this white man who's drifted ashore one night and he's killed the chief of chiefs on BADU with his dagger. The thing that saved his life, the thing that saved his head, was as he's killed the chief, he's looked up at the sky and he's chanted, Wongai, Wongai, Wongai. And it's created thunder and lightning. As he's done this, there's thunder and lightning behind him. Now, he thinks Wongai is a war cry, but Wongai is the god of crops. So these villagers who already believe that a white person is a spirit from another realm and needs to be killed, they're seeing this mysterious spirit chanting, who's just killed their chief, and now he's got no fear and he's looking at the sky calling out Wongai, and it's creating thunder and lightning. Now, if that wasn't enough to believe that he is the god of crops, Wongai, he's also got this knowledge, right? So he's got this knowledge of war tactics. So suddenly these fierce warriors of BADU who are already winning their battles, they're now just destroying their enemies. And he's also got this knowledge of agriculture, of planting and growing food and crops and tending to the soil, and he's making tools. And these people truly believe that he is the god of crops and he is their new chief of chiefs, Chief Wongai.
He came here, it was the same time our people were celebrating the World Wongai. And, the story is he killed the sheep and called out Wongai. And everyone thought he was the god Wongai coming in person. Yeah.
This is Wongai?
Oh, that's Wongai.
Yeah.
I'm yet to see a Wongai. And
They're still fruiting. So this is when it's really like, it's just starting off. And then they start going into lighter colors. And then they go this color, orange.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Now that's just before it's gonna go ripe.
Oh, so that's not ripe yet.
It's not ripe yet. It needs, see these sour rains are coming now?
Yeah.
We call it Oberau Puituitayar. So basically that translates to the rain that when it drops on this tree, it's Puiturtayar is it's pretty much cleaning the tree and giving it moisture. And the pui is like the like dust and the remnants of the flower that's still there. The rain washes that all out, and the little moisture it gets from the rain when the fruit is ripened, it sort of starts the ripening process.
Yeah, that last bit.
Yeah, starts the ripening process. So we call this rain. It's like schools of rain coming through. It's not heavy rain. It's just like light shower rain, just enough to just wash the fruit.
Yeah.
Puiturtai, just wash the fruit, and then start the ripening process. So it's been raining a few times, so the ripening process has started. So that's why you can see these colors coming up here. We call it Kobe. Kobe is the one just before it's ripened.
Okay.
Yeah. In our belief that when we used to, in the days of the past of our ancestors, they used to dance and do ceremonies, call on the rains to bring moisture to their crops. And Wangai was known as the god of crops. So if you wanted to ask or dance for moisture, you would do the ceremonies in those days for our god Wangai. And as far as how the name of the god of crops ended up with this fruit, I am yet to find that one out. I just think that because this fruit is the native fruit of the Torres Strait, it's always been here. It's probably been here before we were here. Yeah. There's a couple of different, see this one's fruiting. There's another Wangai trees there. They don't fruit. They like very sensitive. Some fruit, some don't fruit, so they stagnate. I don't know if that's because they want to survive. Yeah. This one didn't fruit the first time I come here, so I started clearing around it. And once I started clearing around it, it started becoming, there was other trees. See, that's why you can see, look, there's branches on this side. There was other trees on this side. It made it grow one way. So I removed the trees on this side, giving it more. So the branches are starting to spread towards that side. So I think, like I said, it filled my energy, like I'm trying to give it more space so that it can grow and propagate. It started fruiting, and like this year was the most fruit it's had. It started fruiting a little bit, and now when you look at every branch, it's just full of Wangai. And this one looks like it's around about the color of the ripe one, but it's not. You can just see that it's softer.
Oh yeah.
Just break it open there. These two, this one looks like it's just unripe. It's just sort of just unripe. See the smell? Can you smell it? Smell this one. That's the ripe smell. Yeah, that's the ripe smell. So you might got one ripe one here. It's thin. But because I find out that it's got this, use to and really help your health, like a super fruit. That's what I'm wanting to do, is just plant all these trees here so that, my grandchildren, they only be eating fruit that is really benefiting their system. Yeah, so that's what I've done. I've just picked out these fruit That's really good for you and not overreached with, you know, if you're gonna eat, it's too sweet. You know, chronic health in our region is very bad. Chronic disease is up in the 70% in the Torres Strait, so, and that's mostly sugar diabetes and that sort of stuff. So cost of living is so high, so you know, people go, soft drink is cheap. You know, they just get soft drink instead of know that, you know, water is better for you. You know, even juice is full of sugar. You know, we used to go for the healthy option of getting the popper juices. Man, that's just as bad as soft drink. When we growing up, this was our lolly. You know, we have lolly shops, we have lolly fruit, and this one is Torres Strait sugarcane guy.
You just eat it straight into it.
You gotta take the skin out first. And when you take that one out now, huh? Some there. Grab one. Yeah, might. Huh?
Thanks.
But basically, sweet taste. This one, just a little bit young. The sweetness is not concentrated.
Okay.
It will be like
So you chew it up and then spit it out. You just get the sweetness out of it.
yeah, and the skin goes out again.
Yeah.
And then the strings get stuck in your teeth, and it's
yeah.
like what do you call when you floss? Floss.
Yeah, floss.
Yeah.
Yeah, happens with mango.
Good for your
man,
teeth.
too.
Yeah, like mango. Yeah.
And do they grow the same as the coconut? Straight from the...
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
On the top here, we call it. It's like an apple, crunchy.
And you can eat that part, you just eat it. Oh, look at that.
Eat the top down. Tastes like apple. Eat that, drink the water.
What's a meal?
Yeah, it's like belly full from this one. But the waters taste different to the guy skin. The guy skin is sweet. Because it's not really mature, it's really juvenile. This is it's really juvenile. I like this really juvenile because I can hold it with one hand and I'll eat it. Sometimes the one a bit big, very sweet, got jelly inside and everything. Still has the apple, but it's big too. This one I just carry it and just smash it one go, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't waste it. Otherwise, if it's a bit big, I'll eat half of it and I'll waste half of it, and I feel I gotta keep eating and I'm bloated now. But this one is pretty good. You wanna have some?
Yeah.
You want to bite here?
Yeah, okay. And then...
Just bite there, or taste the apple first.
Apple, okay.
It's all right.
It is just like apple. There's another...
It's like not as sweet as apple, but
Same.
this thing here, apart from the skin, this size, that's why I like it. The whole thing is food.
Yeah.
So I'll show you. I'll drink this water first. Okay.
And it's not as... The water's not as sweet as a normal coconut?
No, because it's juvenile. It's okay. It's pretty good. So that's why I say the whole thing now is food. What I eat, like food. Because usually this part here is the shell. See?
Yeah.
This is usually the shell of the coconut. But at this stage of the guy,
You can eat it.
the other part is apple, and that's the carrot.
Yeah.
if you taste it, just taste this. That's the juvenile of the. It almost has a different taste to the apple now. See?
Yeah, and it's a different
Texture
slightly.
too. Yeah.
But that will, as it gets bigger, it'll turn into a hard shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it turns into a hard shell, and then the jelly builds up, and then the jelly turns into that coconut meat, then hard meat
Yeah.
afterwards, you know.
In 1871, the London Missionary Society came to the Torres Strait Islands, and I mean, I think the Zogo Lee would have seen this coming. The Zogo Lee are they're kind of like the high priests of this ancient religion, for the lack of a better term, for the islanders. And I think they saw this coming with so many more Lamar ships passing through the area each year. But nevertheless, the London Missionary Society came to BADU eventually, and like everywhere I go, that changed everything forever.
That's the boo.
So you blow, or you have to knock the tip off it or something?
No. Usually it's the third ring back. On the big one, it might, I think this small one, you can make it. It still makes sound. You're gonna bust the whole way, it's gonna channel through then. On the big one, you might go 6 back or 5 or 4 back. And then you punch the hole. And you hold it upwards. So you have to make the hole so that is the trumpet of it is facing up. So you can,
Yeah. And that's how they used to call to mower and...
yeah. It was the communication, you know, like at the time that was our phone.
Yeah.
We got a meeting happening, people come. If there's a news to be passed out, I remember growing up, we had a bushel blow on a Sunday to tell us to go to church, and then the bell rings. And we were told, when the bell rings, and you're still getting dressed, when the bell rings, hey, you got to hurry up. So our old people used to tell us, when the bell rings, that's God calling for you. You have to be at church now. So when you are at church and the bell is ringing, oh, I'm okay. I'm already here.
Yeah.
But you're still dressing up at home. You're sort of like, it's a bit, getting a bit stressed out because you got to run all the way now.
So the boo shell was like a warning to get ready.
The bushel is the first call.
Yeah.
Letting everybody know that it's okay to come.
Yeah.
I guess with our families converting from traditional way of belief, being spiritual people, yeah, the missionaries come on to the Torres Strait saying the same thing. God, Jesus is a man, now he's a spirit. Just like us, our grandfathers was a man, and then now they are spirits. Now we talk to them, and priests come. They also talk to God when they pray. So islanders, I think, recognize that as a same, and very easily converted into Christianity.
Wasn't a big leap.
It wasn't a big leap. We were already spiritual people. We very much was connected to our spiritual people. Like, we always talking to our ancestors, and we always chuck talk, throw talk. We feel uncomfortable. We feel a bit sick. We talk to our ancestors. In those times, we would have our grandfathers, grandmother's skull. We kept them, and we used to rub them, for them to give us some sort of foresight as to what's going to happen, you know, in the times to come, or what's going to happen tomorrow. If we really want to, if we feel uncomfortable about tomorrow or feeling uneasy, we'll go and sought advice from the spiritual side.
By rubbing the skull.
By rubbing the skull and sleeping on it, and it will, in your dream, your ancestor will tell you what it is that you want to know. Yeah. So I think how people being in that level of spirituality, when the missionaries came, it was easy to convert. You know, 1700s, late 1700s, early 1800s, you know, our people were still regarded as not discovered, you know. Some islands were still practicing their old ways. But, you know, Christians were very driven people. You know, they had the means and ways to give us the Bible. As one says before me, I heard, you know, they gave us the Bible and took the land.
It's risky coming in as headhunters.
You know, but we did not know, because we don't know the value of land.
Yeah.
We just used to think, you know, like,
Yeah.
how are you going to take the land from us? We're walking on it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we didn't know this paperwork business.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, like, we're going to put this flag here. No, this is crown land. Yeah, whatever. But in reality, that's how it worked out. And really, words like Tenri and Alice and that sort of things never really meant anything to us. We were just humble people, you know. I think the people who came, and like Captain Cook and them, all those explorers, they had the wrong intentions, and we were always in the right place. We always had good intentions, and we lived our life our way. And they came and told us it's the wrong way. Now today we're discovering they brought the wrong way. We've always lived the right way, and I guess our people are sort of recognizing that, and we really want to teach our language more broadly, where our language was sort of taboo before to speak, or shame to speak our language. So some people lost their language, some people was shy to teach their language. Now that's our identity. In the Torres Strait today, language is, I think, gaining momentum, and there's a lot of people who are now realizing that we should be teaching our young their native tongue. And the one way to do it is you have to have them out on country, because then they ask, Dad, what that tree called? And then they get island name for it. Dad, how do we call this one? And that's the beginnings of starting to learn your language.
I've been reading a few, I don't know what you call them here, like on the mainland, they're like dreaming stories about different rocks around here. And is that to drill these stories into the kids' minds for navigation?
Yeah, like navigation and star constellation and the knowledge of where reefs are and islands are, and where to navigate from one island to another. That comes from just being, you know, you got to get out there, and an island is, for us, we always out there. And for example, you say dream stories, we say Adi Gidal, means Adi means sacred.
Oh yeah.
Sacred stories. We don't say dream, we say they're sacred stories from our ancestors. And it's been passed down. Some areas of significance are always respected and no-go zone. And like, you know, I think it's pretty much all native cultures practice respect for the sacred sites and that sort of thing, and pass on that knowledge generations down and down and to come. But yeah, knowledge here is very practical. There's no theory for knowledge. I think it's going to go that way, you know. Most of our, you know, knowledge carriers are realizing that a human is not a book. You know, there's a difference between breathing and not breathing. When you're not breathing anymore, you cannot pass culture on, eh? But book can turn its pages for how long, you know? And somebody can turn the pages back and read again when we're not here.
Yeah.
And we don't want to take our culture to the grave. We want to leave our culture behind so that our identity live on. And it's up to people of our age and our elders, who are very important people in our culture, who are the custodians of knowledge. Our elders always readily pass on knowledge. Eh? I see that here on BADU. All the elders here, they love to correct us. They love to impose on us. Not impose, I think impose is not the wrong word, but they love to teach us what we have to know about our sea country, our islands and reefs out there, and on our main island, our home. And all that is here that needs to be passed on in relation to gardening and the knowledge associated with how we tune into Mother Nature. You know, the trees are fruiting and this means that, and Mother Nature is telling us this, and the birds of the skies are migrating, and just being tuned into Mother Nature and the birds of the skies and the plants of the islands, the fruits, they all fulfill the circle of life up here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You're a part of that ecosystem.
Yeah. And that's what I like. Difference between being on the city life, I always say this one is, it's the frequency. You don't listen to radio anymore. You just sort of press the button, where before time, you know, you used to, you got to tune it in, just go back, you know, like that sort of thing. So we're tuned in, and then every now and then when the nature throws a curveball and the weather comes in a bit late, we still know to go back or go forward, still tune in. So we still know that, okay, the birds are migrating, that means that one. You know, this tree is flowering, that means that one. Everything has association or coexistence with something else, from land to sea. You know, like I said, you know, when the biru is migrating, that's the bird of the sky, right? It's migrating. So we see the bird migrate. That tells us that the turtles are ready to mate. It's going to be mating time. But on the island, the weber fruit ripens, and as soon as it ripens and it goes a little bit yellowy and then it just drops from the tree, we know that the weibad, which is our name for the embryo in the turtle, is ready to pollinate. So again, the weiba fruit ripens and falls. The weibad embryo in the turtle is getting pollinated. So it's also associated. So that's the land and sea triangle. In the sea turtle mating, that coincides with bird migrating, coincides with Weber bush tucker doing a certain thing to tell us that this is happening. In association with that one, we also have star constellations that if they are in a certain part of the sky, we know that that is associated with that as well. So it's the star constellations, the birds, and the trees, and the creatures of the sea. Like I go back to, it comes down to Mother Nature, and to us, it's Father Sun and Granddad Moon, Ate Moon, Mother Nature, Ama, and Baba Giga. So the mother and father are the planets. One gives the light that gives life, the other one gives life, and the moon is the knowledge. It turns the seas. And that's that triangle happening in those three ways. It's the grasshoppers come and try and eat it, and that's once the grasshopper try to eat it, it releases that now. But
I see.
before, when it was a bit young, you see how it ring-backed it?
Yeah.
That's grasshopper, and it died this way. So what I've done is I put green ant. I take a green ant from another tree, green ant nest, and I put it on, and the grasshoppers get deterred a little bit. Yeah, so I use just nature to, instead of, put a chemical on here, and spray chemical, you don't know how much residue going into your system.
That's it. So green ants, yeah, they're good for it. Then.
Yeah, so the green ant keep the grasshoppers away.
Yeah.
This is gubau meke in our language.
Gubau
it's like
meke.
Yeah. The name just translates to when it drops its fruit. Time of wind.
Oh yeah.
Gub means wind. Gubau means almond belong to wind. Gubau meke.
Yeah, so certain wind.
Wind
Almonds will come.
Yeah. And it needs that. It's this wind here, Sagir time. But this fella here is still young. I think maybe another year, then it will fruit. And it will fruit at this time of year every year.
Okay. Gubau meke.
Yeah.
And is it your responsibility as a father and an uncle to pass this stuff on, to teach your kids?
Yeah, I that's our culture, like that one. In our culture, the uncles are the lecturers, they're the teachers. Today we have an English teacher, it's the uncle. Uncle responsible for everything. Teach language, teach hunting, teach what I just told you, that's uncle's problem. So I'm going to be someone's uncle. That's my responsibility there. My kids, they have uncle. They learn from me, but their main teacher is the uncle. So if the uncle say, hey, come here, you better do. That's your teacher, you better go learn.
Why do you think that is? Why has it just always been that way?
Yeah, we just grew up is that like beach hibiscus. We call it urkar. And its association, its significance of urkari ukainis, the big leaf of that tree. It's a very sacred tree to us. And it's associated with the saying, urkara ukainis, means that uncle, very important person. He is the passer of knowledge. He is the discipline, So that's just our structure. The protocol of learning is that one.
That was absolutely exceptional. If you're watching this, Uncle Laurie, thank you so much for sharing, just sharing your knowledge and your story with us. And yeah, just being so open to sharing like that. It's a weird thing, I suppose. I say this quite often, but to have this white fella just rock up through the bush to your camp and with a camera and ask you to come and talk. I can only imagine what that feels like, and I just really enjoyed that. These islands just have me so intrigued. As you all know, I'm so intrigued in Aboriginal culture, and I've wanted to get up here into the Torres Strait Islands for a long time now and learn about the culture of the Torres Straits, and I'm deep in it. You know, and a few things that stand out at the moment are obviously history. I love my history, so the mission days, you know, prior to mission days, particularly here, prior to mission days of, you know, how fierce the warriors were, but also how connected to this land. Like when I say, I don't want you guys to get confused or me paint the picture of these savages, you know, the headhunters and cannibals and things like that, because the families, like some of the men were warriors, right? And they were brutal, hardcore warriors, and they would do anything to protect their family and their island. But the kids were still running around playing games, you know, cuddling up to their mums and their grandmas and their granddads, and you know, singing songs and dancing, and it doesn't change any of that. But hearing the stories, like even then with Uncle Laurie talking about cannibalism and the skulls, you know, and yesterday I was at Moa, which is directly across from BADU, which is one of the islands that BADU constantly had battles with. BADU and Mobiarg, which is to the north, were allies for a lot of the time. They did go to war together a bit, but they were allies a lot of the time against Moa. And when I was there yesterday, Gideon was telling me, he said he's going for a hunt, but he also said, we don't like being out at night. You never know what's in those hills still. You know, he's like, it's not that long ago that there were warriors here, headhunters, and BADU actually basically wiped out the people of Moa in the end. They had constant battles back and forth and back and forth. But the BADU warriors was actually led by Chief Wongai. You all know that story I told you the other day, and we'll touch more on that in the coming days. But Chief Wongai led the men across there and had the plan, using his knowledge from the civilized world, civilized warfare. He led his warriors to all the different clans of Moa, led by different like war chiefs that were under him. So different war parties went to, or warrior parties went to all the different clans, and at the same time, in the night, they attacked. And they basically wiped out men, women and children, everyone, except for a few, in one hit. So, yeah, these are crazy times. This is in like 1850, you know, like 1848 or something like that, not that long ago. And now I'm standing there with a BADU man who has the, oh, this camera's heavier than a GoPro. Standing there with a BADU man who has the posture, I'm not going to say the body language, but like the posture and the power of a warrior. Even though he's an amazing man and he can be quietly spoken and he's intelligent, he's also very passionate. And I imagine these warriors were passionate about war and protecting their island and their people. And here's me, this white fella, this outcast on the island, learning now from a man like Uncle Laurie. I feel pretty blessed. I've actually, in town, bought some oil, and that's one of the things, like that oil, that tiny little thing of oil was like $27, I think, for olive oil, and then the canola oil, all the nasty stuff, was like $7. So you come to these communities, and I see this all the time, all the really bad stuff that's, you know, that's so nasty for you, is super cheap. So of course you're going to buy it when it's that cheap. Anyway, get back to it. Oil, I've got some flour and some of the Wild Reaches salt mix, and we're going to make popcorn mackerel, which I'm super excited about because I haven't had like a real treat like that in ages. And got to fix this spear. So coming back through that bush track, this spear was up on the roof rack, and this has happened to me a couple of times. It happened in Old Marpoon. I broke my favourite spear. And this bamboo one, I haven't done a bamboo spear before, so I'm going to have to work that out. It shouldn't be too hard. Hopefully I can reuse these and use some leader and just bind these into a shorter shaft, which is probably more my size anyway. Alright, so when you're using the Wild Reaches native bush salt, guys, it is really strong. Like, it's very salty, it's very flavoursome, so you don't need much, which is a good thing. Just use a little pinch. There's nothing worse than overdoing it and you've ruined your fish or venison or whatever you're cooking. So make sure you just use a little bit and then top it up later once your fish is cooked. Just sprinkle a little bit more on if you need. This is going to be such a treat. I'm going to keep cooking, but if you want to support the show and you want to get some really good gear, I'm really working on our range of apparel and like hunting gear. So Wild Reaches knives are now in stock. Been working on this thing for a year or two now, 18 months, something like that. Bringing different versions up here to Cape York and testing it out in the bush. And I'm really happy with where we're at there right now. I've taken a little bit of advice from you guys, changing this part under here so it's nice and safe and you can get your finger underneath there without the blade slipping and cutting your finger. Nice little thumb grip there. I really, really like these knives. You can get them, wildreaches.com, that's our bush knife. The hats that are about to be released, if they're not already released, Wild Reaches caps, full sweatband inside. Look at this with the light in it. They're like aerated at the back. So they're super cool on your head, and then our Wild Reaches patch on the front. I've been working on caps for a long time, as you guys know, and I just haven't been happy with them. These have been under the wraps for about 6 or 7 months, back and forth, trying to get the exact hat that I really like, and I've been wearing this one as a prototype now for probably 2 months, and I'm really happy. So I've said, pump them out. We're ready to put these to the market. So grab yourselves one of these caps, wildreaches.com/shop. The knives come in a really nice sheath as well. Really nice sheath, so you can, with a uni clip on, so you can clip it onto your belt in a vertical position, or you've got the Wild Reaches leather, that's kangaroo leather band, so you can do it horizontal on your belt also. And our spears. I'm using this trip, talking with the locals up here as well about what I should change on them. I'm going to make the flopper much shorter for crayfish, because this is a crayfish spear. So making that flopper shorter so you can pull it out of the crayfish quicker and move on to the next one. But the size of these is really good. We're going to do double rubbers from now on. That works really well. And they're on our website as well, wildreaches.com/shop. I've just been sitting here digging in. Have a look at this fish. Bit of rice, bit of this Maggi original seasoning, or Asian authentic flavour. A little bit of the bush salt, and it's absolutely delicious. So I'm trying to stuff this in my face as quick as I can, watching the tide come in over those rocks. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get down there. But the plan, I think I'll leave this spear for now. I might be able to just take the spear down with no tip in it. Try and catch a live mud crab so I can keep him for the morning. for breakfast, which would be really, really good to wake up and have some food here ready to go. One of you lucky viewers, if you're a patron of ours, a Patreon or a patron, one of you lucky viewers is coming to Cape York next year with me. After the wet season, I'm going to bring one of you up here. So fly you from your local airport to Cairns, pick you up in Cairns, bring you up to the bush. We're going to do like 4 days or something out bush, catching all our own food, cooking it on the fire. One of the boys will be there wherever we are, one of my mates, and just give you a life-changing experience. So if you're not part of Patreon, jump across and check it out, patreon.com/wildreaches. All the details are over there, or jump on our website, wildreaches.com, and all the details are right there at the top. Just click on that. This mackerel is freaking delicious. So this morning, I think I filmed it, but going across to TI, there's lots of long reefs, right, that run east to west, and that's what makes the Torres Strait Island group so treacherous. The seas are wild. There's so much reef. There's so many currents moving, and if you don't know this ocean well, if you're not a local, you're in trouble. Uncle Putu knows it really well. We were dodging reefs, and then we got to one of his mackerel spots, and sure enough, the birds were diving, the fish were just going nuts, and we picked up 3 mackerel in like straight away. One of them, as soon as the lure hit the water, and I had it in free spool going out, as soon as I knocked it into gear, bang, it was on. So that was a lot of fun, but the best part was coming back to the community and knocking the fillets off all that fish, taking fillets across to Uncle Ditu next door, giving him a tail, because last night I was there with all the uncles and they fed me dugong. So just being able to like share food like that, and then I bagged up all the fillets and left them in the esky there. And Uncle Putu, I'm sure tonight, will call the family and they'll come around and pick it all up, or like he'll drop it around as he goes to get his dinner and give it all out. And that's what community life is all about. That's what I love about up here, not just the islands, but mainland Australia. In all these communities, it's like there's no greed, there's no, I don't know, like no one's selfish. It's about, you go out for a hunt, you get whatever you need, you don't go over the top, you just get whatever you need, you come back and you gift it all out, mainly to the elders and then to the uncles that taught you how to hunt, people that can't go out and do it anymore, so you then feed them and give back. And that's what brings everyone together, and that's what I love about these communities, and I hope that I can take what I learned back into my little community and teach my kids how to do this kind of thing.
The kids will run down because I'm say water, but I got rule word. No one in the water unless I look first and I check, and I wait from the checking point. I wait half an hour. So then they'll have to wait half an hour. I'll keep looking up and down, out, up and down, out. And then that's when I said to them, wait. So they were standing on the beach. Look, it's going to be an half an hour wait. So they were waiting, and next minute, boom, just pops up 2 meters, just where that rock is.
Yeah.
Water line, 2 meters out. Boom, yeah, he also looked like dinosaur. Oh, big fella. The head was like nearly just under 2 meters long. Huge. Fuck. Just like popped up. And the next minute the tail comes up. The tail was like, you know, a dog's tail, you know?
Yeah.
So he had his mouth open like that and his tail up like that. And that's how he swam along the rock there.
What does that mean something?
The one,
Yeah.
wow.
It's like territorial.
This fella here, he was right there. And they were standing in front of him. Hey, that croc!